5 years ago, in June 2020, I made my very first cocktail. And I did that without having any prior experience as a bartender. I never even worked a single hour in a bar. I'd never taken any bartending or mixology courses. I didn't have any special licensing or a bartender certificate or anything like that. And despite all of that, I still made my very first cocktail. And I'm gonna be showing you exactly in this video how to do that. For those of you who don't know, my name is Raman Virapin. I'm a full-time medical doctor, and I've also been a home bartender for the past 5 years. During that time, I've learned how to make over 100 different cocktails, and I've thrown over 50 cocktail parties, and now I help other busy professionals master home bartending. So how exactly do you make your very first cocktail? Well, there's an exact step-by-step method that I followed over 5 years ago that I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. So the very first step is to pick your favorite cocktail, or pick which should be the first cocktail that you make. So for me, at that time, my favorite cocktail was the Negroni. So that's why I have these ingredients with me here: gin, Campari, and sweet vermouth. So for you, pick whatever your favorite cocktail is. I'll just have a few caveats on that. The ideal first cocktail that you make, so your ideal favorite cocktail to start off your journey, should be only 3 ingredients. Really, it's not really a cocktail if it's just 1 or even 2 ingredients. That's more of a philosophical debate. And then if it's more ingredients than that, then it becomes more, it increases the barrier to entry on making your very first cocktail. So for sure, definitely avoid tiki cocktails. Almost all tiki cocktails contain 5 or more ingredients, so definitely avoid that. And for the most part, you should also avoid a lot of these modern classic and craft cocktails. So go ahead and find a classic cocktail that only has 3 ingredients. Reason I recommend classic cocktails for beginners as well is because these drinks have really stood the test of time. So they were invented early half of the 1900s, some even in the late 1800s, and they've still persisted to today in 2025, and they're quite good. The Negroni is an example of that. If you're unsure of what first cocktail to do, go ahead and do the daiquiri. It's the very first video on my channel for a reason. I think it's an absolutely amazing beginner cocktail because it only contains 3 ingredients. And also 2 of the ingredients are non-alcoholic, which means it's an even lower barrier to entry because the cost is not as high to acquire those ingredients. As opposed to something like a Negroni where all 3 ingredients are alcohol, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive. And the other reason I recommend the daiquiri is because it is a sour cocktail, and for home bartenders especially, sours are the biggest category of cocktails. Definitely for the videos I've made on this channel and the videos that I know, or the cocktail recipes that I know, sours are the biggest category. So the daiquiri is a great first option. And if you're having any trouble, I would just say go ahead and do that one. So go ahead and pick your first cocktail. That's going to be step 1. So step 2 would be to watch a YouTube video on that cocktail, on how to make it, about 2 to 3 times to really learn the recipe, the ingredients, and how to make it. Now, because I'm sharing this video with you guys, I would love for you all to watch my video on that cocktail. If for whatever reason I don't have a video yet on that cocktail, go ahead and comment it down below, so then I'll go ahead and make a video soon on that cocktail. I am a small channel, and I really want to make this as personal as I can for now, because I don't have too many people watching. I want to really cater this channel to the people that are watching, at least at this stage in my channel before it becomes bigger. And the other thing, if I don't yet have a video on that cocktail, there are other great bartending YouTubers out there. 3 that I really enjoy watching and 3 that I've learned a ton from are Educated Barfly, Anders Ericsson, and Steve the Bartender. They've been doing this, all of them have been doing this for 5+ years. So I guarantee that between the 3 of them, they definitely have a video on whatever cocktail you're looking for. For the really popular cocktails, probably all 3 of them have a video on that, and you can just watch 1 time each for the 3 different channels. So go ahead and do your research and watch the YouTube video on that cocktail at least 2 times, maybe even 3 times, to really learn the recipe and how to make it. So that's step 2. Step 3 would then be, this is where it gets a little bit more fun. I would say step 3 is to acquire the ingredients. So go to the liquor store and purchase the alcoholic ingredients, and then go to the grocery store and purchase the non-alcoholic ingredients like the syrups and the fruit juices. If you're unsure of exactly what bottles to buy, then go ahead and use the bottles that I recommend on this channel. So whatever bottles I use in that video, use those exact bottles. Or if you're watching one of the other bartending YouTubers, use their exact bottles. If you're still having questions, you're still unsure, or you live in a certain part of the country, or you live outside of the country, you don't have access to a certain type of brand, then just comment down below. I'll give you a list of different alternatives. So you can just comment, oh, Beefeater is not available for me. What other gin can I use? And then I'll go ahead and list like 4 or 5 different options for you, and hopefully one of those will be available. Like I said, I am a small channel. I really want to make this as personalized as possible to help as many people as I can right now. So that would be step 3, acquire the ingredients. Then step 4, this is kind of a 2-parter. First part, figure out if the cocktail that you want to make is stirred like the Negroni or it's shaken like the daiquiri. And because this is going to be the first cocktail you make, you actually probably don't have all of this equipment like the shaker, the jigger, the stirring spoon, the strainer, things like that. So luckily for you all, I made 2 videos on this channel, which are both going to be linked in the description below. One is how to make a stirred cocktail without any bar tools. And the other one is how to make a shaken drink without bar tools. And when I made my first cocktail in June 2020, which was a Negroni, I didn't have any of this equipment. I used a tablespoon to measure, and then I poured it into a coffee cup. I used the ice from a generic ice tray, and I used that same tablespoon that I used to measure the ingredients. I also used that to stir the drink. And that's what I really show in these 2 videos, on how to make a shaken drink without bar tools and how to make a stir drink without bar tools. So go ahead and watch whichever the relevant one is for the specific cocktail that you've chosen. So that's going to be step 4. So to summarize right now, step 1 is pick what your first cocktail is going to be. If you don't know, go ahead and pick the daiquiri. Step 2 would be to watch either my video or another bartending YouTuber's video on that cocktail 2 to 3 times to really learn the recipe, the ingredients, and how to make the drink. Step 3, the fun part, go to the grocery store and liquor store and acquire the different ingredients. Step 4 would be to then figure out if the cocktail you want to make is either stirred or shaken, and then watch my relevant video on how to do that without any bar tools. And then step 5 is to put everything together and just go ahead and make the drink. That's all there is to it. And then step 6 is the really fun part, which would be to enjoy the drink yourself. Or if you really want to get into this habit of, or really want to get into this hobby of home bartending and really make this part of your life, to call yourself a home bartender, you not only have to make the drink, you have to serve it to somebody else. So serve it to your partner or a friend or a family member, coworker, anyone really. If you're really up to it, host a small party or even a big party and serve that drink to multiple other people. And that's when you can really call yourself a home bartender. And to me, that's absolutely the most fun part of this whole journey. Of the 6 steps, that is the most fun. So to fully summarize, step 1, pick the cocktail that you're gonna make. Step 2, watch a YouTube video on that cocktail 2 to 3 different times. Step 3, acquire the ingredients. Step 4, watch my video, which will be linked in the description below, on how to make either a stirred or a shaken drink without any bar tools. Step 5, make the drink. And then my favorite, step 6, will be to serve the drink to other people. So that's the exact step-by-step method that I used to make my very first cocktail without any bartending experience or any prior bartending classes or formal education or anything like that. So if you follow those steps exactly, you'll also make your very first cocktail, and you'll really start this journey that's been one of the most rewarding of my life and one of the most important, because it's really been such a big part of my life since June 2020 when I first started. And that's really what starts it all, is just to make one cocktail. From there, everything opens up after that. So please follow these instructions if you really want to get into this hobby, and enjoy. Cheers.